Hello and welcome back to Talking Giants, presented by SeatGeek. Today is October 3rd, 2025, and our New York Football Giants are taking on the 0-4 New Orleans Saints. Shaun, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant to start.
All right, let Justin cook.
This is a non-mathematical must-win, what we call a non-mathematical must-win.
Can I stop you for a second?
Yes.
There's an easier way to do this. You could call it a non-mathematical must-win. In my world, there's must-wins, there's can't lose, and there's gotta have-its. So if it's a non-mathematical must-win, it's either a can't lose or it's a gotta have it.
They gotta have it.
Okay, it's a gotta have it game. It's
a
little more succinct there, you know, Justin?
I like my Cold Stone Creamery draft scale.
Oh, yes, you do.
Like it, love it, gotta have it. Shaun, they cannot lose this game. Every single good thing that you established, that you got last week, will be eliminated and thrown out the window if you cannot beat Spencer Rattler, the 0-4 New Orleans Saints, and Brandon Staley as their defensive coordinator. Every single thing. I am not usually the type of person, never the type of person to come on a show and call for somebody's job, especially when it's October, because it's not worth it. But if they lose this game, Shaun, on Sunday, which they won't, there will be part of me that will not want Brian Daboll to even get back on that plane. They should not lose this game. They should not lose this game. They cannot lose this game. They got to have it, Shaun. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I tend to agree that they got to have it, but I'd be lying to you, Justin, and we're going to go over all the matchup stuff here in the next 40 minutes if I didn't tell you I was extremely nervous for this game. For number one, I'm totally with you if Malik Nabers is playing in this game, and obviously we have the official news now that he is torn his ACL and even some MCL or meniscus was in there as well, and he's out for the season. It makes me extremely nervous because I think we tend to forget how god-awful it is getting the ball around to people not named Malik Nabers. But I go back to a game with Daniel Jones a year ago around this time when they beat the Seattle Seahawks without Malik Nabers. So is that really an excuse? I don't know. This is the kind of devil and angel stuff on the shoulder I've had. But for the most part, I'm with you, right? But here's the catch-22. If we were doing Talking Saints down in Louisiana right now, then they started their show, what would they be saying about the 1-3 Giants and a rookie quarterback coming into their building, which has been a house of horrors outside of that Daniel Jones, Jabril Peppers overtime game? They'd be saying, this is a gotta have it. I don't even know if Kellen Moore survives year one if we lose to the New York freaking Giants at home. So one win feels good. The Jackson Dart era feels good. Defense is cooking. But I think we need to remember, Justin, that other bad teams are looking at the Giants on the schedule kind of extra prepped up and geared up going, this is the game we have to have if we're going to win one.
And I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. And that's the logical take, and that's the reasonable take. I am not logical and reasonable this weekend.
That's fair.
Again, you are playing Spencer Rattler. You are playing Brandon Staley as a defensive coordinator, a defensive coach who has had horrible defenses, like the worst defenses in the NFL before. Saints defense isn't the worst in the NFL. There's talented players, there's talented names, there's good players. You know, we'll talk about it, but
might be the worst in the NFL inside the red zone this year, but that's, neither here nor there.
You're in year 4 of this regime. This is year 1, not even year 1 of this regime. It's year 1 of a new coach with Kellen Moore, and they're kind of looking towards a new era of Saints football, trying to figure out what they're going to get at the quarterback position. Is Tyler Shuck going to be a starter backup? He's not even playing. Again, Spencer Rattler, Shaun. And what I want to move to now, before the start of the season, and even heading into this Sunday, this Saints game was the only game that the Giants were favored in their entire schedule. And now somehow they are not. So Shaun Morash, I ask you, what is up with the Vegas line moving this much? The Giants started the week at -2.5, and they are now +1.5. What is going on?
Okay, so I've seen a lot of this for a couple of days, and I love a lot of our guys on the beat reports with the Giants, buddies enough with a lot of them, and they've tweeted out a bunch of stuff. I believe I'm getting the sense that a lot of people out there don't fully understand how Vegas lines and stuff operate. Yes, the point spread has flipped to the Saints at the time we are recording this. It could easily flip back by game time. But what you need to pay attention to in the Vegas lines markings is what the money line offering offers you. Okay. And this is getting very gambly insidey here. The Giants are not plus money on the money line, meaning if you bet $10, you're not getting a full $10 back. I think they're at minus 106 at the time we're taping the next. The Saints are also minus money. That is more indicative of what the betting market says. What the betting market says is this game is essentially a pick 'em, because if you just pick the team that's technically underdogs with the points to win the game, you're not even winning the full dollar amount back. So while point spread might dictate that the Saints have flipped to the favorites, the money is dictating that they're not the favorites. What this is saying is money is coming in on both sides. It's the biggest who knows, but you've had a lot of sharp money come in on the Saints, which has tilted the point spread, and it is a complete coin flip in Vegas. I understand that sounds convoluted to anybody who doesn't care about gambling, doesn't understand gambling, but it's not as black and white as, oh, look, the spread changed. Well, what does the money line tell you? Money line tells you you're not getting positive money on the Giants if they win the game, so it tells you they're not really an underdog. So it's kind of like a convoluted mess where Vegas set a spread, money came in early on the Saints. The money has bounced back on, well, if you give money on the Saints, it would take the Giants to win the game. And it's one of the biggest through 4 weeks of the NFL. Who knows games with the sports books? They have no idea. That's basically what all the odds are telling you.
Yeah, because even Monday morning, as it debuts as it opens up as Giants minus 2.5, and it's like everybody even knows Monday morning that Malik Nabers is at least not going to play against the Saints, and then it comes out that he's out for the season, which most of us like knew, and it sunk in on Sunday, on even Sunday night.
All right, I just played the what if we were doing Talking Saints down in Louisiana card, right? We're doing Talking Giants clearly here, by the way. Thank you always for listening. Love that me and Justin have gotten off to a nice start here in the Jackson Dart era. But Justin, let's remove ourselves. Let's take ourselves out of New Orleans. Let's take ourselves out of New York. And we're living in Illinois, all right? We're Bears fans that wake up on a Sunday and we love gambling on football, okay?
Yeah.
If you had no emotional ties and you were fringe paying attention to what has happened with the Giants, oh, this Jackson Dart stuff, oh man, the Saints haven't won. And you thought to yourself, all right, Giants have this big emotional week one for the Jackson Dart era win versus an undefeated team. They win the game, but man, they lost their best player. Here are the Saints here. Ooh, this is interesting. They played a close enough game with the Bills to the end. They're knocking on the door of a win, and they're home. Doesn't this feel like a come-down game for the Giants where the Saints finally rise up and have a team they can beat? And it's really hard to go 0-17. What games are left on the Saints schedule?
Yeah.
How many wins are they going to get? So I think if you just did your reasonable, I'm emotionally untying this, I'm a different fan of a different team, there is a strong case, and I think this is where a lot of the betting has come in on, well, I'm getting points with the Saints here at home, and that is what has flipped the market. I think that's all that is.
So you remember how I was calm last week? Mm-hmm. Because I think one of the reasons why I was calm is because I didn't really know what to expect. I had zero expectations. The 0-3 Giants get off to another 0-3 start, and the Giants that never win in September, the Giants that never win an important game in the first month of the year, they broke me and they did what they needed to do. So Jackson Dart comes in and plays. I have no expectations against the 3-0 Chargers. That's why I was calm.
Yeah.
Now, this Sunday, now that I have expectations again, at least for 1 week. For 1 week, Shaun, we'll talk about how we're going to survive without Malik Nabers and what that looks like against the Saints, and I think that could be drastically different of how that's going to look like against the Eagles and then the gauntlet of a schedule that you're going to face after that. But, Shaun, this Sunday, again, I am nervous this Sunday because now I have expectations. Now they need to be walking out of New Orleans 2-3, because if they are not, I'm going to lose my shit. They cannot walk out of New Orleans losing this football game. In order for them to show some sort of progress, show life, Brian Dable is the coach, you got to win. It's not about, does Jackson Dart look good? Does this player look good? You got to win football games. And it's unfortunate that you're putting Jackson Dart in this situation, but it's the situation that he's in. You have to beat the Saints. And honestly, it should be not even Jackson Dart. It should be the defense that carries them.
Bingo. You just hit on the whole thing. I'm less focused on the Jackson Dart part of this and more focused on, and look, full disclosure, how Talking Giants works. I'm a big peel back the curtain guy. Justin creates an insane rundown and we kind of go through stuff, but you're carrying us here as the quarterback of the show right now, Justin, with the defense stuff. The Saints have a banged up offensive line just
Yes,
like
they
the
do.
Chargers did a week ago. The Saints offensive line isn't as good as the Chargers offensive line is on its best day to begin with, so you can only imagine the depth fall off and stuff like that. This needs to be a carryover effect from the Giants defensive line. We could talk about how many points you could score with Malik Nabers all you want, EPA per play, all we want. The bottom line is this: Spencer Rattler has not won a football game in his life. He's missing 2 starting offensive linemen in this team, in his NFL life, on this team. This has to be a pass rush wins at all cost game. And if the final score ends up being 9-6 as a result, so be it. The team needs to win a football game based on defense here.
I agree. So before we get to the Giants defense, though, I do want to lead off with Malik Nabers. So
all right,
I have an idea, as my grandmother in Delaware used to say.
Does she say turlet too, or just toilet?
No, just idea. And I really
Oil or Earl?
What?
Oil or Earl?
I don't know if we ever talked about oil. I don't know if we ever got to that. What's your plan to survive without Malik Nabers, both in the short term and in the long term, Shaun?
Yeah. Well, first of all, the short term would be, don't assume, okay, well, this means Jalen Hyatt, just take all the Malik Nabers reps and turn into a big receiver. Bo Collins, you're going to just become this outside guy that we're going to do this. No, I think it's got to be completely collaborative. And if that means multiple tight end sets where Theo Johnson and Daniel Bellinger pick your poison over the middle of the field, fine. Let's play a little differently. If that means just completely distributing and becoming a Buffalo, where we heard this, a Buffalo Bills type offense where you have no idea what wide receiver is getting the ball on any given drive, that's fine. I think it needs to just become an even distribution of guys, because you want defensive coordinators not to just sit back and go, oh, it's Darius Slayton or bust for this team. I think it needs to be collaborative. And this doesn't matter this week, but I think going forward, I think they need to be creative as far as just doing Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scadaboo on the field at the same time and leaning into Tyrone Tracy's receiver pedigree. I think the only way that you replace even close to what Malik Nabers brings to the table is by keeping defenses guessing and being as widely distributed with the football as possible and getting as many different guys involved as possible.
I'm activating little Jordan Humphrey off the practice squad for this week too. Right?
I would agree with that too.
You're doing that? Yeah. I really hope they do that, because if anything, I think Bo Collins has special teams prowess, and I think he even has, like, they'll put him in line as like a blocker too, from time to time. I think little Jordan Humphrey, I think he can immediately serve as a contributor, as a contested catch threat on the sideline. At least, at minimum, I think he can serve as that.
Here's my question, though, Justin, with that. They're going to have to make a decision on this, and unless I missed it, because full disclosure, at the time of recording this, I spent a lot of time at freaking Yankee Stadium this week. They placed Malik Nabers on IR. They waived Timon Fox, brought him back to the practice squad. They didn't technically sign anybody to the active roster, right? I don't want to be misleading on that.
I don't
think I saw that come through on the trend, meaning they have an open roster spot. I say that to say, just remember when playing this game, that they need to elevate Hey Jude, because he's got a kick again, right? So that's number one.
Yes.
You're going to do whatever elevation probably on the defensive front. They're going to have to sign some of the active roster. And it scares me to death. They got away with it last week and we didn't touch on it. But not having Tyrone Tracy on the field, man, Cam Scadaboo is one more headbutt away from a freaking concussion, and all you have left in the running back position is Devin Singletary by not elevating Turbo Miller. So if you're going to elevate little Jordan Humphrey, to me, I would just sign him to the active roster. You've lost Malik Nabers for the year, and if you end up finding somebody in one of these tryouts that you want to bring along, all right, so then play the Timon Fox game with little Jordan Humphrey at that point too. But I would go beyond an elevation here, because I actually think elevating Turbo Miller in a game like this, I really think they're playing with fire with Cam Scadaboo and his style of play if he got hurt while Tracy's out.
Yeah, Timon Fox was signed back to the practice squad, so he was not signed back to the active roster. He was released, signed back to the practice squad, and I don't think they've... Maybe that, but also I would even think maybe the thought process is that's one less player that you need to deem inactive on game day if you have an open roster spot like that.
I hate that, though. You need more than 3 spots filled with this team right now. You can't leave yourself a running back.
Also, they're low on money, so that's one less week that you have to pay an active roster spot, a game day salary.
Oh, my God.
I'm telling you, these are things that I think that Joe Schoen and Scott.
But you know where you get money? You know where you get money? By not going into the year trusting Graham Gano to be your kicker and cutting him in March. Okay?
Right.
That pisses me off, man.
I can't criticize Joe Schoen's cap management all that much, because he's done a nice job of, okay, well, we can just push all this money down the road and put void years and dead money and dead cap and on all these contracts, and he has not done that. So I'm not.
So is this what they're going to do? They're going to leave running back light, elevate Lil Jordan Humphrey, elevate a kicker, and elevate whatever they're going to do on the defensive side of the ball in this game. And then I'm telling you, this is going to come back to haunt them if Cam Scadaboo gets hurt with his style of play. It is going to haunt them. And we're going to yell and scream about it and go, whoa, why didn't they think of this? You mark our words.
Especially with only 2 running backs on the roster right now. So
I didn't mean to make that about running backs, but, it tied in with the Humphrey.
No, there's not a lot of depth right now. With Malik Nabers going out, you're searching for, 40% of your targets and 54% of the team's air yards. You're searching for that void to be filled, and how are they going to do it? So, yeah, I think in the short term, I'm activating Lil Jordan Humphrey right now, and I hope for the best. You got to be able to run the
And he had good rapport with Dart in the preseason too. So
yeah. So what do you want to see the Giants do and accomplish on offense versus the Saints? Because now that there's a game on film versus what they did against the Chargers, hey, we're going to use Cam Scadaboo as a lead blocker, and Jackson Dart's going to run the ball a lot. They ran the ball out of shotgun, Shaun, 32 times on Sunday. No other NFL team, and ironically enough, it was the Colts week 1. No other NFL team has ran more out of the shotgun than the Giants this year, and the Colts did it week 1 23 times. That's the second most. And I think that should continue. I actually like that. I don't even mean to say that in a negative way, because the Giants historically over the last 2 years have run a lot better out of the shotgun versus under center, since I don't think their offensive line is a move heaven and earth type of unit. So what do you want to see the Giants kind of accomplish on offense versus the Saints? And I guess it has to be a little bit different from the Chargers since, like I said, there's already a game of film.
Yes, and I went back and I watched the Saints-Bills game last week and really focused on that as well. And look, the idea of a Josh Allen, James Cook backfield gave the Saints fits, but they just came off that this week. Now, it's going to take talent and all of that stuff, but I think that entire game plan by Brandon Staley, who could be very boring at times and basic, is going to be, look what Buffalo just did to us, and that's how they eventually broke the game open in the fourth quarter. This is something we have to stop. This is their bread and butter, a rookie quarterback with Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo. I think they're going to line up. I think they're going to dare the Giants with no Malik Nabers to throw over the top. Whereas Jesse Minter, and we saw it the week before with Spags versus Russell Wilson, the whole game plan after that Dallas game was take away the deep ball, take away the deep ball, take away the deep ball, the high safety shells and everything that the Chargers played a week ago. I think you're going to get less of those looks with the Saints. I think that they are going to dare this rookie to try to throw the ball over the top. So what do I want the offense to do? It doesn't mean abandon the run. I think you still try to run out of shotgun with what you're comfortable with, but you need to be very prepared in this game to try to soften this defense early. If that's the kind of looks that they're going to show you, again, this is what I anticipate is going to happen based on the fact that this team just played a game versus the Bills versus a similar style in terms of running the football. I think there's got to be a couple shots here to Darius Slayton or, dare I say, Jalen Hyatt that make the Saints and Brandon Staley double guess and go, oh, okay, this rookie, actually, they are going to let him have kind of the gloves off and be able to throw the ball deep here. So even if they don't hit on him, I think you need to at least show the Saints in the first quarter of this game you're willing to attack and not just allow them to sit back and go, okay, it's run or nothing for you guys. So I think it's got to be about deep ball shots here, Justin.
Yeah, Jalen Hyatt's been on the field for 35 snaps so far this year.
But basically all of them were with the offense last week.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not trusting him, but he's speedy. Throw the ball down the field. If he catches, you catch. If not, you're at least sending a warning shot.
Bo Collins and Lil Jordan Humphrey exist more in my mind if they're
okay.
If Lil Jordan Humphrey's activated, which that's not even a guarantee. That's a want from me.
I don't give a flying who does it, Justin.
I know.
You're going to have to. Now, this is operating under the assumption that they stack the box, which I anticipate Staley doing in this game.
Yeah. I even think throwing to the intermediate part of the field, 10 to 19, because I think, push the ball downfield 20 yards. I mean, Giants run go routes a ton. But I even think if they're going to stack the box and maybe they give you cushion, right? Because if you're going to stack the box and if cornerbacks we're going to give you cushion because we're afraid we don't want Darius Slayton to beat us over the top, or even if Jalen Hyatt's on the field, we're going to give him cushion because you don't want this guy to beat us with speed. Then I think that's where you're going to get hitches, out routes towards the sideline. So I even think Jackson Dart throwing that 10 to 19 yard range, that's where I think the Giants could also win too, because without Nabers, I don't know how explosive they're going to be. I think you can get a go ball to Darius Slayton every once in a while. And what's nice is that Shaun, I mean, even though the Giants didn't have a 20-yard play last week, what Jackson Dart, I think, is very willing to do is throw the ball downfield, give his wide receiver a shot, and even if it doesn't wind up in a completion, I mean, I feel like at least 25% of the time it can get a flag, defensive pass interference, and then it's a spot foul penalty, and boom, that's a quote-unquote explosive play right there that could really help a drive and flip a drive. So definitely I think that's in Dart's bag. I'm just really pessimistic on how often that may happen. I think you're going to have to make your money in the 10 to 19-yard range.
And that's fine too. I guess basically the overall theme we're getting to one way or another is you can't just sit back and assuming you're running the ball 36 times and the Saints are going to allow you to do it out of the shotgun. That's it.
Right. For sure. Who is the Shaun Morash, I want more out of your ass offensive player of the week?
It's got to be Darius Slayton, right? It has to be. He, again, we arrive in this unique position of what a roller coaster career it's been for Darius Slayton as a New York Giants quarterback. And week one, I was in real serious doubts about what the hell the future is of Darius Slayton. Did he completely fall off a cliff? He's shown a little more flesh, little bit the last 2 weeks. But let's just be real. With no Malik Nabers, you're the veteran in the room. You're the captain. You are still a speed threat with a rookie quarterback. We need more out of you. This has to be more out of your ass. This has to be, a 5-catch kind of just, make the Saints pay. It's not like their secondary's that loaded. Just simply put, you need to be a presence. I don't know what that means in yardage wise. I don't know if that results in touchdowns. You need to be a reliable presence for a rookie quarterback that just lost Malik Nabers, point blank, period. I can't even give you a statistical analysis other than show up and be a true, at least 2A wide receiver for this rookie quarterback, even if you're not going to be the elite guy, which we all understand you're not.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, remember 2 weeks ago when you took to the Twitter at Entertainer and basically wanted to say, let's not act like the rest of us are trash when Malik Nabers was getting credit. Remember that moment?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that moment? He quote tweet. Was it? I think it was Entertainer.
Yeah, it was Entertainer. Yeah, the Entertainer.
Okay, well, stop worrying about Twitter now, bro. Nabers is out. Let's show that you're not a heaping pile of trash for a rookie quarterback. Let's go.
Yeah. Can't believe it's death, taxes, and Darius Slayton somehow being wide receiver 1 on the New York Football Giants. It just always happens.
I can't wait for 10 years from now when he rings the bell pregame before Hell's Bells, and we're like, oh man, what a sneaky, interesting career Darius Slayton had.
Dude, he's going to be, if he has the same type of year, I made a short on this, and I can't remember the exact numbers and stats. He's going to be top 10, if not creeping towards top 8, top 7 in all-time Giants receiving stats this year, if he has just a typical Darius Slayton type of year. Granted,
and he's better now.
Granted, he's been here a long time, and even looking back on the Giants receiving greats, I put receiver in quotes with some tight ends. Shockey's run was relatively short.
Cruz's short.
Bavaro's run was relatively short, I feel. Cruz's run was short. Nix's run was short. Manningham was never that number one guy. Steve Smith, if he didn't break his neck, would have had a shit ton more catches. So, I don't know, man. Plax's run was obviously, shot down short. See what I did there?
Yeah, what a play on words. Oh, I just brought up the Bell thing. I know we're focused on the Saints, but I'm going to forget this for weeks, so I just want to get it out now. I know you haven't been to a game yet this year. I've seen it now twice. I went to the Washington in the row, but I've seen it now twice on TV and picked up on hearing it. What the Giants are doing with these home games at the beginning of games, I hate. It sounds so cheesy. Doing? So the Sunday night game, do you remember what they did with Brandon Jacobs?
Oh wait, are they really trying to push a chant?
Yeah, and they did it.
Right?
When I went back and I rewatched the game this week, the TV broadcast. And
Go Big Blue.
They did it before the Charger game too. Now, I don't know who did it. Go Big. And they're doing this thing. It's terrible. It is so bad. Yeah.
Now,
we're not the Vikings with the skull chant. Don't do this. Giants pull the ripcord.
LPG and Brandon London have been trying to push a chant.
I hate it.
For years.
We don't need that. We basically invented the defense chant. We don't need that.
Yeah.
We don't need it. It was I cringed when I rewatched the game and I went, no, we're doing this. It wasn't just a home opener thing.
We got to figure out what game we want to go to, you and me. That's what we got to do.
Yes. Yes, we do. I know I'm doing a pregame tailgate, so to speak. I don't know if I'm staying for the game yet for the Eagle game at American Dream, the Evan and Tiki show is. But after that, I got to figure out. We'll talk, Justin. I think we should do that.
We'll talk. Oh, idea.
What do you got?
if you're gonna do a tailgate show at MetLife, live stream watch party Thursday Night Football, Giants Eagles from the warehouse. Warehouse is 15 minutes away.
Is it?
15 minutes away from MetLife.
All right, we'll talk.
It's an idea.
All right.
I have a nomination for the I Want More Out of Your Ass offensive player, and it's Wan'dale Robinson. Because outside of the Dallas game and outside of a game that he will probably never have in his career ever again, where he was targeted 20 yards down the field like 4 or 5 times, I feel like there hasn't been much of Wan'dale Robinson. And I like these corners on the Saints, one of them being Isaac Yadam. Kool-Aid McKinstry's another one, and Alontae Taylor's in the slot. I feel like all three of them are solid, good players, but I feel like especially a Kool-Aid McKinstry and especially Alontae Taylor, they take chances. They make a lot of plays on the football, but they take chances, and sometimes they can get burned, and sometimes they can get beat. Wan'Dale's got to be a crafty route runner. Some of these advanced metrics that I see all the time of Wan'dale Robinson's open rate and separation rate in man coverage, blah, blah, it's really, really good. All right, let's see it. Let's run some whip routes. So Curtis Samuel run a nice little whip route in the slot. Alontae Taylor's kind of trailing him, follow him there. Get Wan'dale Robinson some opportunities to allow him to get separation with route running. Jackson Dart, a shit ton of his passes last week were released between 1.5 seconds, below 2 seconds. I think that's going to be really helpful for him again as a young rookie quarterback. We don't want to take sacks. We want to get rid of the ball we want to get rid of the ball quick, get the ball out of our hands quick. Wan'dale Robinson in the short part of the field, allow this guy to get some yak, make it easy on your rookie quarterback, have the quick passing game as an extension of the run game. Wan'dale Robinson.
I like that pick, Justin. I'm fascinated by the Wan'Dale situation right now because it was weird. Like, we saw a different version of Wan'Dale with Russell Wilson that we hadn't seen in his career. And it kind of was like, wow, okay, man, this guy's got some big playability. I was virtually very disappointed in the Wan'Dale usage a week ago. And I'm just wondering if we're going backward here now with whatever we're running here with Jackson Dart offensively. I hope not. And I hope you're right, because that becomes a game changer again with Malik Nabers out if you're getting more out of Wan'Dale.
Wan'dale Robinson contract year.
Yeah. How about hold on to the ball even if a defender's making a play in the end zone? How about that?
Well, I wish.
I mean, you're allowed to have strong hands and keep the ball held. You know that?
I simply just wish Theo Johnson went up for that football instead of Wan'Dale Robinson. But also, Theo's a huge part of the show. I really want to talk about this because I found in my rewatch of the Chargers game that there was a throw where Jackson Dart, nice play design, by the way, trips right, Darius Slayton goes in motion to the left before the snap, pre-snap. Theo Johnson is in line next to the left tackle, and it's a nice play-action fakes pitch to Cam Scadaboo. Theo Johnson's leaking over the middle of the field. So as the linebackers are thinking and the safeties, they're kind of shifting down, thinking that this ball may be going to Cam Scadaboo on a run. You leak Theo Johnson over the middle of the field. Jackson Dart wound up missing him because he had a guy right in his face. That would have been a first down to first down, a throw missed on first down. There was another one where Dart took us. What was that?
I said that play didn't even register in my head. Good catch by you.
There was another play where Dart took a sack and he was rolling out to his right, had Theo Johnson on a corner route, and that would have also possibly even been like a 20-plus yard play. So Theo Johnson kind of getting open, and we know that Dart likes to throw to the tight ends. Has had a good connection with them, even this past Sunday with Bellinger and Johnson, and then throughout the preseason as well. So Theo Johnson, like you said at the start of the show, Shaun, everybody needs to play a part in this to bring up the almost 40% target rate that Malik Nabers would have. Everybody needs to play a part in it.
It's a big Thanksgiving dinner table. There's 12 seats. Everybody needs a scoop of mashed potatoes. We all eat.
Now, before we move on to segments, I do want to talk about the Giants' defense, but the rest of this episode, and especially the touchdown draft and the spread picks, Shaun, they are sponsored by the DraftKings Sportsbook. NFL fans, what's your favorite touchdown? Because for me, it's the next one. Because with the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From the first touchdown score to anytime touchdown props to the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. Here's the best part. Sign up with code JMFootball, bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use code JMFootball. That's code JMFootball to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. So, Shaun, you talked earlier, if this is talking Saints, right? Mm-hmm. What the Saints are talking about is, oh my God, The Giants have a pass rush that is really scary. And yes, our offensive line is beat up, at least with Wednesday's practice report. Trevor Panning, Dylan Raduns, and Cesar Ruiz all did not practice. We'll see if they play. We'll see what the Thursday, Friday statuses are for them practicing as well. If they're all do not practice again, that's good for the Giants, because then they're either A, really beat up, or B, they just may not entirely play, especially when you get closer to Thursday, Friday if you don't practice. Also, the Saints are looking at, talking Saints, the Giants are...
I love this bit, by the way.
The Giants are 32nd in EPA per play as a rushing defense. And you have Alvin Kamara.
Exactly. Now, what's very interesting here, and what I'm fascinated by is, are they going to run more Miller here? Because we've hit the point where you're 0-4. There are Alvin Kamara trade rumors, and I just wonder how much the Saint front office is playing into this, where, we know this defense can't run the ball a lot, but let's not run Alvin Kamara 30 times versus this Giant defense to try to preserve him. So I think it's going to be more committee style here for the Saints. Giants got to tackle. That's it. Bottom line. Point of attack. Don't let these first down runs that you have them at, a 2-yard gain turn into 6-yard gains.
Yes.
The Saints are going to try to keep Spencer Rattler upright by running the football, is no doubt. But to me, it's just, you counteract that by actually just wrapping up and tackle. I know that that's not sexy for a podcast to say, but for the Giants defense, I really do think it's that simple.
Yeah, these 2-yard gains that turn, like you said, that turn into 4 and 5, it's a killer. And the little things that seem to happen often turn into big things for this Giants defense. I especially think I saw what they were doing against the Bills last week is really rushing outside the tackles. Mm-hmm. They were using a lot of misdirection, having their offensive linemen go one way, and then Alvin Kamara or
they're
Miller
hoping to beat you with speed with the back around the edge and hope that you just miss a lane on contain and take off for 12 years. That is basically as simple as it gets, what the Saints are trying to do.
Why are we going to run towards Dexter Lawrence when we can challenge linebackers to flow sideline to sideline and also challenge defensive backs who have not been taking good angles? Safeties have been taking bad angles, and if Deonte Banks is on the field, I am running towards him almost every single play. Why am I going to run towards the interior of this defense and the strength of this defense? Even the edge rushers that have been setting a good edge, I'm going to try and challenge everything on the outside, and that if I am the Saints, that is definitely what I am trying to do, and they probably will get some explosive plays if they execute it right.
There's without question. And I can't believe we got 32 minutes in before you mentioned Deonte Banks. So hopefully we don't have to do that again.
Well, hopefully he's not in the game.
Right. That'd be nice.
He probably will be. Whatever happened to Cordell Flott? Why is
what happened to Cordell Flott was, I think because I was celebrating, I totally missed the fact that was a great tackle to end the game.
Yeah.
Keeping him in bounds.
With Spencer Rattler, he is not throwing the ball deep. The Saints have 4 pass plays of 20-plus yards so far this year. Lowest in the NFL, like I said. Spencer Rattler kind of runs around a little bit. And
that was his game in college, too.
He's kind of a good scrambler, and I am a little afraid if the Giants are going to run cover 1 and man coverage 50% of the time, like they've done basically every single game so far this year. If you're running man coverage and your backs are turned and you're not accounting for a quarterback that can run, that can kill you. And he's averaging 8 yards per scramble, and the most efficient play in the NFL, Shaun, is when a quarterback drops back to pass and he scrambles. And if you're in man coverage, I feel like that could be a good source of offense for the Saints. Giants got to figure out how to stop that.
No doubt. I think Spencer Rattler on his legs alone is going to have at least 2 first downs in this game. They're going to make us jump up and scream. But ultimately, that just can't become a theme throughout the whole game. He's going to have a couple moments like that, though. That's just inevitable with the way we play defense.
What do you think of this quote by him? Thanks to Research Rick for watching the opposing team's press conferences.
Oh, you got the quote? I didn't even see this in the rundown. I was going to hit you with this. All right, let's go.
Spencer Rattler on the Giants defense. I was on the train and I added this screenshot. Spencer Rattler on the Giants defense. On the back end, they don't do as much as what we've seen from these other teams disguise-wise. They've got their wrinkles and everything. They run what they do well.
Okay. Before we even dissect what he's talking about, to me, this quote tells me that Spencer Rattler cannot be a franchise quarterback for a team. Forget his record. Forget his talent. What are you doing, dude?
Because now, if I'm Shane Bowen, I'm putting that quote on top of everyone's locker, and and in the first slide of the PowerPoint of Giants versus Saints, or we're meeting on Thursday, we're meeting on Friday, I'm playing that quote.
I'll play devil's advocate for a second. No, I don't think Spencer Rattler's smart enough to be playing chess while we're playing checkers and trying to dare Shane Bowen into disguises and like trying to like do some kind of butterfly effect. That's not what's happening here. He was just way too brutally honest with the media about what he watched at tape. And I think it plays right at the Giants' hands. You just told the Giants you think they're too simple. You told Shane Bowen that you gave away what you thought in the game plan. I think this was actually a huge pendulum swing in a pennickling swing here. How about that? I'm trying to workshop that. In fact, with the Giants game plan here, I could not believe that he said this into a microphone. So look, the Giants defense did that quote right there really leaves no excuses. If he's telling you don't do something and then you don't counteract that by then doing that to confuse him, you're a full-blown moron as a coach.
It's kind of crazy that it's not a shot at Giants players, it's a shot at their defensive coordinator. So exactly. that actually would kind of be funny if Shane Bowen started his presentation. It started like started a defensive meeting, but being like, see what he said, and I'd be like, Coach, man, that's about you. That ain't about me, brother.
And also
about you.
In implementing disguises with Shane Bowen here, the elephant in the room is who knows Spencer Rattler better than anybody? Who practiced against him a ton? Who did you spend a lot of money on in the offseason? You don't think Paulson Adebo could help with any kind of disguises on the fly here this week in a game plan after that in terms of what Spencer Rattler does with the football? Lean on Paulson Adebo's knowledge for how many freaking times he practiced against the guy.
And then my other thought of that is on the other side of the ball, Kellen Moore has beat the shit out of us every single time he's played us.
Guess
going
what?
Back to Dallas.
Kellen Moore doesn't have Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, or Justin Herbert in this game.
Spencer Rattler, man. Spencer Rattler. Here's some of the fears of what like the Giants defensively should control this game. They should control this game. Saints offensive line compromised. You know that they're going to try and run the ball. The Giants have been decent on first down this year. Like, keep doing what you're doing of getting teams in the second and third and long, but just don't be the worst second and third down defense that we've ever seen. Little worried about Spencer Rattler does do a good job of getting rid of the ball quick. He currently has the fifth fastest time to release in the NFL right now at 2.63 seconds. And what they throw over 40% of the time, around 40% of the time on a week-to-week basis, out routes by the sideline and hitches and little comebacks. And I feel like if the Giants are going to continue to just play man coverage, but they're going to play man coverage with cushion, then those out routes, those hitch routes on the sideline, it's going to be open and it's going to be pitch and catches all day. I would like to see let Paulson Adebo line up a little bit more in press. Mm-hmm. Cordell Flott, get Deontay Banks off the field. Cordell Flott will not get beat at the release as bad as Deontay Banks. And Javon Holland, man, if Javon Holland, man coverage on a tight end, I feel like that's what's been happening so far this year. Javon Holland's got to show up this game too, because Juwan Johnson is leading the team in catches for them.
No doubt. And you brought up earlier about the Saints corners and how they like to be aggressive and jump routes. Remember, there was a lot of thoughts on that with Paulson Adebo too when he came over, like, right? This is how he got his interceptions, his pick sixes. And we haven't seen a ton of that in terms of, his aggressiveness too. That man coverage, press stuff, whatever Paulson Adebo can bring to the table from that corner spot. I think you allow our corners maybe to be slightly more aggressive in this game as well. And I'd just like to add with no Malik Nabers, boy, last week the Giants had that Drew Phillips play and the Dexter Lawrence play. And right now, and the Saints red zone defense stinks, but the red zone offense is a struggle for the Giants. Be a little aggressive, take advantage like that. A defensive score pretty much could ice or win this type of game with how low scoring you expect it to be too.
Rattler's not making a lot of mistakes though. That's the thing. He's getting rid of the ball quick. Okay. He's not. His sack rate is around at 5%. He's only thrown one interception. He's lost 2 fumbles this year.
This is the best pass rush he's faced so far this year.
Right.
And I know he's getting rid of the ball quick. This will be the best pass rush he's faced all year.
Yeah, and the Giants are good at getting quick pressures. Like yes. Abdul Carter is tied for the lead in the league in quick pressures right now.
Yep.
So
I think you can pressure
they got to show up. Shaun, if the Saints score more than 16 points, I am really disappointed in this defense, in this defensive performance.
I like it because I already have a score in my head, so it's funny you say that. Okay,
great. Do you have a Shaun Morash? I want more of your S defensive player before we go on to our segments.
I've mentioned his name twice over the last 5 minutes. I want a Paulson Adebo interception this week in the worst way.
Love it.
Bottom line, you're facing your former team. We heard all about your turnover rate before the Giants signed him. That was a big part of his game. Drew Phillips has a couple picks on the year. Look, Adebo's not showing up getting burnt too much. The Dallas game, he had a couple moments. I want a Paulson Adebo turnover. That's my get more out of your ass defensive player of the game here.
Love it. For me, I already mentioned Javon Holland. So yeah. the two biggest free agent acquisitions. How do you like that?
I think that makes sense, right? What a novel concept. We paid you a lot of money. Let's go make a play.
All right. Touchdown draft. Shaun, we both went 2 for 3 last week. To recap, I took Quentin Johnson, Theo Johnson, Devin Singletary. You took Jackson Dart, Amarian Hampton, Justin Herbert. We both went 2 for 3. But with our scoring system, with odds, I had a much better week because especially Theo Johnson hitting at plus 550.
You had a more profitable week.
I had a more profitable week. I actually, from the Dallas game, I think I even picked Tyquan Thornton to score when I was doing this solo, when I was doing it with Danny B, and I picked Tyquan Thornton to score, and I think he wound up scoring too. I got to start not parlaying it, but I got to start just individually because I'm on a little bit of a run here.
Last week I hit a sick parlay NFL-wise with touchdowns. It was Dart to score, Travion Henderson to score, and Puka Nacua to score, and
hell yeah,
big time hit.
So the total score after our first week with Shaun and Justin is I have 520. Shaun has 215.
That's good though. Even though you're beating me, that's a very profitable Sunday we had there.
Now, a reminder of the touchdown draft rules is you can take somebody in the top 5. So the top 5 most favorites, the top 5 most heavily favored players to get a touchdown for the Giants this week are Alvin Kamara, Cam Scatterbu, Jackson Dart, Chris Olave, and Wan'Dale Robinson.
I cannot believe Jackson Dart's odds already have fallen to plus 165. It's crazy for a quarterback.
You could take one of those guys in the top 5. After you take one of them in the top 5, you have to get creative and take guys outside the top 5. Shaun, I'm going to have the first pick since you had the first pick last week. I'm going to take Cam Scatterbu. I will take the favorite and I will build a lineup from there. So Cam Scatterbu, my first pick.
Okay, that's fine with me. I'm going to take the Giants' number 1 wide receiver plus 425, Darius Slayton, in this game to make a play.
Yeah. You would think that would be an explosive play touchdown.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for in this game because I think they're going to take a couple more shots in this game.
I don't even know if when is the last time that Darius Slayton has caught a red zone touchdown pass?
Were they inside the red zone versus Seattle last year? Was that from the 20 and shorter?
No, that feels like an explosive play because that was the play where Daniel Jones rolls to his right, plants his foot in the ground, throws back to the left side of the field.
But I think that technically was a red zone touchdown. I'd have to go back and look. I think they were technically like the 19th.
How about goal to go?
Goal to go. Okay, that's a great question.
Goal to go that's what I'm thinking of.
It's been a while.
Oh, I'm seeing Brandon Cooks here. Brandon Cooks needs to be traded so he becomes the most traded NFL player in history.
Yeah.
There have been... here's another trivia. There are 3 players in NFL history that have been traded 4 times. Brandon Cooks is one of them. Can you name the other 2?
3 players that have been traded 4 or more times?
4 times.
4 times. Oh, jeez.
Nobody's been traded 5, so that's why Brandon Cooks needs to be traded again.
3 players. Can I just ask you, like, we're talking like our football watching lifetime here?
One is a little bit older, and then one is our football watching lifetime. Yes, but he is retired. Both players retired.
How about a guy like Brandon Stokely?
Brandon Stokely, no.
This feels tough. Am I going to hear it and go, "You're an idiot. You should have thought of that"?
Maybe. I mean, this is also a very niche. I feel like this type of question is more like, baseball people know this, you know?
Because trades are weird in the NFL because there's not that much that happens on the deadline. So I feel like this would be off-season stuff, right?
Yeah. This yes. I don't know the exact timeline of this, it's a defensive player and an offensive player. Like Brandon Cooks, He has never been traded in season. All 4 have been in the offseason.
Is Randy Moss one of them?
Nope.
Okay, I'm going to sound like an idiot just throwing out names, so you might as well just tell me.
Eric Dickerson.
Okay, I would have never guessed that.
And Kiko Alonso. Part of the LaShawn McCoy trade.
Okay. I forgot about Kiko Alonso. Yeah, I was never getting that. We would have been here for an hour and a half with me guessing.
All right, I will not be taking Brandon Cooks.
After all that setup.
You know what? I really like this player. Feels like a bad bet. But you want to know what? He's like a Tyquan Thornton type of player. Wait, by the way, is Taysom Hill coming back? He wasn't listed in the odds for touchdown draft.
You know why? Because he's not technically activated, though he's supposed to be activated.
Okay.
So his odds are not going to show up on a sports book until Sunday morning.
Oh, shit. Giants may be done. Rashid Shaheed. I'm going to draft Rashid Shaheed at plus 275. I really like him as a player. I very much can feel Deontay Banks on the field, and he just burns them.
I mean, the Saints stink, right? I mean, you know what?
Why am I drafting a Saint?
Give me Keandre Miller plus 350, not the former New York Ranger.
Okay, I'm taking a Giant, and I can't take Dart because he's in the top 5.
Look at me, I'm working outside the top 5 here.
Do I? You know what?
Oh, you're gonna do it! Oh, that was my next pick.
Daniel Bellinger is listed at plus 1,100.
That's a good dart, no pun intended, to throw.
I'm gonna throw the dart, and I couldn't believe when I was putting this together last night. Jalen Hyatt is plus 550, and you're gonna tell me he has better odds to catch touchdown?
Yeah, I'm with you on Bellinger. That was my next pick. Great job by you.
Yeah,
great job by you. Okay, I'm gonna close it out very simply here. Yeah, I'm gonna block you. I'm not. I already took Miller. I'm not going inside the top 5 with this. I'm taking Theo Johnson at plus 295.
You didn't take a single player inside the top 5.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. I don't love Wan'Dale's matchup in the red zone here. Maybe I'm an idiot. Olave. I'm also playing the odds game. I don't think Dart runs in 2 in a row. And again, as good as Alvin Kamara is, if I'm looking at the odds, I mean, I think the split share is going to be there with Condre Miller, and I'll take him at plus 350.
All right. So
I'm actually totally comfortable not going inside the top 5 in this game. It's a weird game.
It is a weird game. So to recap, I have Cam Scattaboo, I have Rashid Shaheed, and I have Daniel Bellinger. Shaun has Theo Johnson, Kendre Miller, and Darius Slayton.
There we go.
Not
I'm fine with
that
team,
order.
by the way. I'm totally fine with that.
Okay. Spread picks. I had a horrible week. I had such a horrible week, it made me consider not asking Shaun back on the show. Because before Shaun was here, I was 500 through the first 3 weeks of the season.
Oh, what a thing to thump your chest at. You were 500 picking football games.
Spread
what a hero.
picks, I think that's pretty good. It's not pick.
What a hero.
But I was, if you've been listening, you listened to this show for a couple of years. I am horrible with spread picks. So the fact that I was 500 through like a month was nuts. And then
that's like me celebrating that I got a salad and only ate the croutons. I ordered the salad.
I was 1 for 8 this past week, Shaun. 1 for 8.
No, too bad. How sad.
You were 6 for 8.
No. You know, sometimes, Justin, when you're picking, don't just go, I got to go opposite Shaun here. Go with what you think, all right?
No, and you know what's funny? I was talking with the producer Jeff right before the show. He's like, it feels like you just went opposite of Shaun. And I'm like, that was not my intention.
All right. Well, you win some, you lose some, Justin.
All right, let's start to win some. 49ers at Rams. Rams are home favorites by 8.5 points. Thursday Night Football on Prime. Make sure you watch the Next Gen Stats Prime Vision broadcast. It's the best broadcast in football. Have you seen all the players that are hurt for the 49ers, Shaun?
It's crazy. They're a mass unit on a short week, which is why I hate this spread in this game.
But Purdy's back.
Right. I'm going to take the Niners with the points just because of the short week division thing, and it's never as easy as it seems. And I feel like this is just a game where people are going to go, look at all the injuries. Rams are awesome. Give me the Rams to lay the points. I think the Rams are going to win the game, but give me the Niners with the points.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. Ricky Pearsall out. Jawan Jennings out. So then we're going to have Kendrick Bourne, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and Sky Moore and Demarcus Robinson running around out there.
They're going to look to run the hell out of the football and keep this low scoring.
Yeah, I do think the 49ers cover. There's a divisional game, Thursday Night Football, short prep week. 49ers are going to keep it to the basics, and I think they at least cover this. Vikings at Browns. Vikings are road favorites by 4.5 points. Why do I put this game on there? Because Shedeur Sanders is a mime.
Well, also, it's not a road game. It's in Europe.
Oh, excuse me. Good call. Good call. That's why I put it on there, too, because it's in Europe.
What America gets: bagels, donuts, and the Cleveland Browns with Dylan Gabriel at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. What did the spread was again? Vikings 4.5-point favorites. Yes. You know, I hate Carson Wentz. I got to take the Vikings in this game. This is an impossible spot. Dylan Gabriel's traveling to another continent to face Brian Flores. I'll take the Vikings to cover.
Browns cover. They may not win. Browns cover. Here's why. Flacco made a lot of mistakes. That's why he was benched this early. Dylan Gabriel, all he has to do, I think, is not make a shit ton of mistakes. And Quinshon Judkins is playing really well. He can run the ball. And even if they score 13 to 16 points, this Browns defense is playing really, really well again. And I think they could give the Vikings offense fits. So all Dylan Gabriel has to do is not make a ton of mistakes, sustain drives, keep things alive. Field goals, I think, are even okay. Give me the Browns to cover here.
Okay.
Dylan Gabriel's first start. Cowboys at the Jets. The Cowboys are road favorites by 2.5 points.
I'm taking Dallas and running with this game. I don't know. I know Dallas' defense stinks. Will the Jets make a couple plays? It felt like the Jets' penalty was. Feels like they're basically ready to quit already. And the Cowboys are going to score about 50 points in this game.
Yeah, if the Jets defense was playing at somewhat of a level that they should be playing, I may pick them because the Cowboys defense is just that awful, but Dak Prescott's a better quarterback than Justin Fields, and the Cowboys are kind of executing somewhat well as a football team right now, despite not having a lot of talent, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So give me the Dallas Cowboys here. They play well in MetLife.
They do.
Broncos at Eagles. Eagles, 3.5-point home favorites. Does the devil magic end?
I'm taking Denver with the points in this game. I think Philly obviously could and probably will win the game, but I think this is going to be, and Philly, you just called up Dancing with the Devil. The couple of these games they've played, they're not going 17-0 either. I haven't loved the way Denver's played. I haven't loved the way Bo Nix plays. I could see couldn't you see a funky off week for the Eagles? And then everybody goes, of course they lost the game. Now they're going to be more focused to beat the Giants on Thursday night. Give me Denver with the points.
Feels like every week is a funky off week for the Eagles, but they win. So Give me the Eagles minus 3.5. They may not look good, but they're going to win.
Is that our first time going up? Oh, no, we went Browns, Vikings, Oppo. Okay.
We did. Bucks, Seahawks. The Seahawks are home favorites minus 3.5.
I'm taking the Bucks with the points on the road. I still don't trust Seattle.
I do trust Seattle. Bucky Irving probably out for the Bucks.
That's okay. They're deep.
I love Baker. I don't know. I still don't trust that defense, and I trust like Sam Darnold is playing out of his mind right now. JSN is like the best receiver in the National Football League. So, well, no, you know what? The Seahawks are also bad at home. They were talking about that last Thursday Night Football broadcast. Do I want to change my mind? No, I already said it. That's what my gut says. My gut says Seattle, even though they are bad at home. So we're going opposite again.
Interesting day in Seattle, too. 4 hours after that game kicks off, the Mariners will host across the parking lot a home playoff game, too. So I wonder where the crowd's focus is.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, that reminds me of something that we have to talk about after the show as an announcement. Sure. Lions at Bengals. Lions minus 10.5 on the road.
I don't care how many points it is. I am so done. I bet the Bengals on Monday night. I am dead in the water with the Bengals. Give me the Lions to lay the wood here.
Yeah, I agree. Tanking for a draft pick, maybe. Patriots at Bills. Bills, 8.5-point favorites on Sunday night. It bit me in the ass last week, Shaun. I said Sunday night games, whenever there's a big spread, the team that is the underdog is going to cover because that's what Sunday Night Football is. I said it, and I still think I went the opposite way. The Patriots are covering this.
I'm with you on the Pats. The Bills play with their food too much, to steal a line from my friend Nick Costos. Give me the Patriots plus 8.5.
Drake May, number one quarterback in the NFL in success rate right now. Look out.
Playing well. Vrabel's a good coach, too, obviously.
Chiefs at Jaguars. Chiefs are road favorites by -3.5. This is the Monday night game.
I don't even think I realized this was the Monday night game. I think I'm buying a little Jags stock. Give me the Jags plus 3.5 at home in this game.
Trevor Lawrence, national television. Not that there's a narrative on this, but I just simply think the fact that Trevor Lawrence, we are going to form Trevor Lawrence opinions based on what we see on Monday Night Football. I don't think it's going to be good. So give me Chiefs -3.5. Shaun, the Yankee game is this Sunday. If they win on Thursday night,
you knock on wood. Okay, because a lot of people by the time they listen to this, they may know the outcome on whether this is even happening or not, which is interesting.
Yes. Do not get mad at me and say that I jinxed this. Please do not get mad at me. That is not my intention. If the Yankees win Thursday night, they will have game 2 versus the Blue Jays Sunday at 4?
4:08 first pitch.
So what we will do.
Which is nice. If the Giants Saints end at 4, you get a 8-minute buffer to use the bathroom and reheat the nachos. You'll be all right.
So what we will do as a Talkin' Giants show, we will not be live directly after the Giants game. We usually try and go live at around 5:30. We will not be live directly after the game because I'll be honest, I do not want to compete with the Yankees. So we will be live after the Yankee game if they win on Thursday night for after game 2 versus the Blue Jays. If they lose tonight, which I hope they don't, then we'll be live at our normal 5 o'clock, 5:30 time slot.
That works for me. And then also have a note, Justin, next week Talking Giants, we have one of those weeks in the Giant content creation world with the Giants playing Thursday night, which throws everything off for a loop.
That's right. So you actually will be joining me for a midweek preview pod.
Yeah. So whenever that drops, whatever Talking Giants is accustomed to taping, we're going to do that. And as we all deal with those 3 days during a Thursday night game, I think we put in more work than the players in preparing.
Oh, yeah. Shaun, Giants win, right?
I think they win the game 17-13, and it's very ugly, but they come away with a win.
20-12, they allow 4 field goals.
Oh, I like that score. That's different. I like that
20-12. Giants win. So we'll see you on Sunday. Hopefully it's Sunday night because the Yankees win. We'll see you Sunday night for a Giants game recap. Please win. I'm going to be really nervous Sunday morning. More nervous than the Jackson Dart debut because I kind of hate when my team has expectations because typically they let me down. Do not let me down. Do not let us down. Let's go Giants, and we'll see you on Sunday.
It starts today. Let's go Giants! We woo!